second attempt at today's video. So Power Automate, that's what we're going to be talking about today, and I imagine if you've landed here at this video, the mythical algorithm has placed you here, and you've probably already heard of Power Automate before. And if not, it is the Microsoft service that allows you to do stuff, move stuff, or collect stuff and other stuff, so that you don't have to do as much stuff. And it's a service I'm quite fond of because I'm fond of getting stuff done, and anything that lets me get more stuff done while doing less stuff myself is a win. So, since the magical algorithm landed you here because you've probably already searched for Power Automate videos before, let's do some stuff. Alright, so I've got Power Automate open here. I made my cursor absolutely massive so that you can see it easier on the video. Look at that thing. It's huge. You've got your Copilot shameless plug on the front to where you can describe the flow that you want to do to Copilot and let it magically make your solution for you. I've had mixed results with it. Sometimes it does okay, sometimes it's a complete miss, but obviously they're still working on it and it will only get better in the future. Now, for this video, I'm going to show you a flow I've already used before in my actual job. Obviously, this is not the account that I use for my actual job because reasons. So I created this Microsoft tenant so that I could do stuff like this and show you how to use these Microsoft Power tools to get more done. And our problem today is that we need a tool for trainers and store managers to order more training manuals for their classes or for their employees. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and go to create, and we're going to create a new flow. We're going to create an automated cloud flow every time they submit a Microsoft form. And I created this handy dandy little form here called training manual order form. It's poetic, I think. If we go down, we have the location. I just threw some random location numbers in there because most companies have location identifiers for their individual stores or places, and we could tie this to other relational databases if we needed to compare things in the future. So, good field to have. And it tells us who's placing the order and where it needs to go to. I threw in manual type, which I should probably be a little more specific there. We're going to go manual type. So I have manual type. Is it an onboarding manual or is it a management manual? So we got two options for them. And then order quantity. How many do they want? And we restricted this to be a number so they can't mess up our precious data. And then if we hit preview, we can see what the order form would look like, and we can test it, and that's what we're going to do. But next, we needed to create an Excel sheet, and we needed to create a table to capture all of our orders. So when they place an order for a training manual, we can capture the data here and keep a running list of all of the orders and quantities and locations as they come in. And we can look back on it and analyze it at the end of the year or at the end of whatever period. And you keen-eyed observers out there will notice that there is a date column and an ordered by column that are not represented in our form. You say, well, hey, there's only 3 fields here, 3 questions. But we got 5 fields over here, and that's because the form itself is going to capture our date and our ordered by. Because if you have a form within your Microsoft environment and other people within your same company or same environment fill out the form, it can capture who filled it out, and it will capture when they filled it out. So we're going to grab that from the form itself. So let's mosey back on over to our form here, and we're going to click Automated Cloud Form under Create. And we are going to add the flow name as Training Manual Orders. There we go. And we're actually going to click the first one right here. You can search for it if it's not the first one, but when a new response is submitted, you can also search by the app, so Forms, and you'll get the Microsoft Forms trigger. It's actually really popular because if you eliminate all of them, it's usually still the first one. So people really like to collect form submissions. We're going to create. And let's not forget about our robot overlords. We have our Copilot window over here where you can ask it how to make your flow or have it give you suggestions on what to do next. Again, I've had mixed results with it because there's certain things it can do, certain things it can't do, but it gets better and better as time goes on. But we're going to close it for right now because today we do still have a job. So in the middle of our workspace here, we have our trigger when a new response is submitted. We're going to click that and we need to pick our form. Well, since I created this Microsoft environment just to do stuff like this, boom, only one form available. If you're in your own environment, then you might have more forms that you've created and you'll have to find them. But that's a problem for you, not for me. So we're going to click Training Manual Order Form. And then we're going to come right over here and click this little plus sign to add another action. And we're going to search for forms. And right down here, get response details. These two are peanut butter and jelly right here. When you get a new form response, we're going to grab the details from it. Again, you got to pick your form. I only have one. Now this part, response ID, this is where we can add some dynamic content, which is the little lightning bolt icon. This is for more custom content if you need to put in any functions or modify the input or output of a step. We don't need to do that. We're just going to put some dynamic content and we're going to grab that response ID. So what we're telling it is anytime a new response is submitted to our training manual order form, go ahead and grab all that juicy information from that response. And then once we've grabbed that sweet data, we got to do something with it. And we're going to click the next step. And that's where we're going to put it somewhere. I'm going to type add a new row because I've done this before and that's the typical step that I do next if I'm going to grab some form data. But you'll notice that add a new row into a table comes up under Excel Online for Business. If you don't have certain connectors, it could be that you don't have the appropriate subscription to Microsoft Office 365. So if you don't have Excel Online for Business, then you may need to talk to your IT or whoever handles your licensing for Office 365. But lucky day, we've got it right here for us. Add a row into a table. We're going to click it. And then it's going to ask us, where do you want me to place that data? And so we're going to select our location. When we drop it down, you're actually going to have groups and SharePoint sites available as well. So if you have SharePoint sites or groups throughout your company, you can drop them into document repositories there. But for this one, I'm going to put OneDrive for Business because I put this in my OneDrive. Then the document library, if we drop that down, if you had picked a SharePoint site, then you could then find the document library that you wanted to drop it in. But for this one, OneDrive. Then under File, if I click my little folder over here, it's going to give us a list of folders. And I'm going to click YouTube because, hey, guess what? This is on YouTube. And then we're going to skip the boring stuff and straight to our Excel file here. Boom, we're going to select it. And now we have our file path. Then it becomes clear why it was important for us to make our table here in our Excel sheet because it asks for the table in the add a new row step. And so what I'm going to do is drop this down and we have training manual orders. And we're just going to go ahead and click it. Then you'll notice down here under this advanced parameters, that number will jump up because what it's done now, as if we show all, is it has found those fields or columns in your Excel sheet. And what we're going to do is fill it with that sweet data. So we're under date. We're going to click and add dynamic content. And here is where forms will capture the submission time for us. And we're going to drop that in the date category there. Ordered by, it will also capture our responder's email. So whoever submitted the form, we can capture that and drop it in the ordered by section. Then we're going to come to our three fields that we created. Location. And we're going to drop location in it. Type. We're going to drop manual type, and quantity, we're going to drop order quantity. And that's it for create a new row. So once somebody submits this, it's going to take that data and put it right where we want it. Now for the flow that I created, we were sending an email to our printing company to order more manuals. I wanted to go ahead and send that order on behalf of the person ordering it, and also send an email back to the person ordering it to let them know, hey, the process worked and your order's been placed. So we're going to go over here and just add one more step. And for this one, we're going to search send an email. And as vague and cryptic as that is, we're going to click send an email V2. Now in the real flow that I used to place orders, I put our printing vendor's information under the to section. I'm going to put my own for this one because this isn't real. And I'm going to put my own information there. You can actually type just people's names in it and it will search in your Microsoft environment for other users that might fit that name. So another cool thing you can do with that. Subject, I'm going to put new training manual order. Now you can put dynamic content here, so if you want to get fancy, you can say, I want to put the location in the email. You could put that, and you could even put, like, in front of it, you could say location space, and then it will put the number. Then in the body of the email, I do the same thing, new training manual order, and then I'm going to put order date. Even though this should trigger the flow immediately and you'll have the date in the email, I still like to put it there anyways. And we're going to put submission time in the email. I'm going to go down and then I'm going to put ordered by. Even though I'm going to CC the person in the email, I still like to put everything in here just in case. Put all the information they might need. Location. If I could type today, that would help. Gonna go ahead and put location there. Hey, and then look, it's magic. We've already filled out everything else. Crazy. We're gonna scroll down here and under advanced parameters, we're gonna click show all. And this is where I would put the email of the person who submitted the order. So we're gonna click advanced mode and I'm gonna put my cursor there. And I'm going to put some dynamic content of the responder's email so that they get notified that this flow went through properly and that the order has been placed. Don't want them to lose any sleep at night. And then we're just going to close this down, collapse that, scroll up here, and there's our flow. Bibbity boppity bacon, it's done. So when a new form is submitted, it's going to get those details, it's going to drop them in our table, and then it's going to shoot off an email. To finalize it, we're going to come up here and click save. It's going to think for a moment, and then you'll get a little ribbon that says, your flow is ready to go. We recommend you test it. Thank you, Microsoft. We're going to do just that. We're going to come right on up here to our training manual order, and since we're previewing it, we can fill it out. We're going to click some fields. We're going to say we want 500 manuals. We don't actually want 500 manuals, but we're going to submit it anyways. And then if we come over to our table, boom, it's dropped that sweet, sweet data in a new row. Awesome. And equally, arguably even more awesome, is it has sent us our confirmation email. And if we actually were going to place an order, it's sent it to the vendor as well. Boom. Work smarter, not harder. Or if you want to win, do both. And if we mosey on back to Power Automate and we hit this little back button here, we can see our flow. It's going to give us a little message that it's ready to go. It's turned on. And we're going to say, don't show this again. Got it. Boom. And now we can go back to edit it if we want. We can share it. We can delete it. We can do all kinds of things. We can look at the analytics of how many times it's ran over time and different things that's happened. You have a log down here at the bottom that shows any time it succeeded or failed and how long it took, which is actually very useful because I've had flows fail before and I had to go investigate what happened. And you can click them and it will show everything that happened. If you click on that, it'll actually show you the inputs and outputs of each step and what happened, and if it failed, why, so that you can investigate and fix your mistakes like I've had to do. And then if we go back, if we go to My Flows, you'll see it. We have created a flow. Bop, ba, da, bop, success. So there you go, my 6 o'clock in the evening on Sunday, second attempt at a video because I said I was going to make one every week. That's it. Nothing groundbreaking, but hopefully it's useful and hopefully you can do something with it to make your life easier. And if you'd like to see any other topics about Power Automate or any other Microsoft Power Platform app, just drop it in the comments and we'll check it out.